Hello and welcome to another episode of Critical Political Thinking. My name is Corey Camasso and I'm your host. In today's episode, we're going to be covering what CNN fails to cover, and that's an assault on their own staff. You know, had this been a Donald Trump event, you would see, 1,001 stories about it. But we'll get into the details of what exactly happened, where it happened, how it happened, and why, and how it was revolved around the, of course, Daunte Wright shooting. We're going to talk about how the police officer has already been charged in that case. What is it, a week? It's funny how fast they can go when BLM pushes their hand and how woke the government seems to be in Minnesota. And then, on top of it, as if our country wasn't falling apart enough from the Biden administration, now we have the Biden administration fortifying and addressing, and Mr. Nadler now introducing a bill to, in fact, I guess you can say, expedite court packing. And we're going to talk about that as well. So we've got court packing, fake news, BLM, tons of great stuff happening in our fantastic country. Sadly, we've got no good news to report. But thank you so much for joining us and welcome to another informative episode of Critical Political Thinking. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Critical Political Thinking. Thank you so much for joining us, and today we're going to be talking about what CNN has failed to do. Once again, it has become clearly apparent, not only in the reporting that we have discovered and found accurate journalistic reporting, but we have discovered and found that, in fact, CNN was assaulted by BLM just yesterday. You don't see it anywhere on CNN. You don't see them covering this, even though their cameras were rolling. You don't see the reporter stating, I was assaulted, blah, 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 blah. Instead, you have the person that was assaulted apologizing. So let's go over what happened. You have CNN comes into a film, and basically we would show it, but there's assault. So, we don't want to get banned, whatever the case may be, on any of the, platforms that we utilize. So we're just going to describe it. And it's sad. You have a CNN reporter of Hispanic origin, I believe, Mr. Marquez. Based on his name, I'm going by, his Hispanic heritage and his appearance. I do apologize if I'm incorrect. But please understand that, a minority of some sort. This individual was reporting on the BLM riots and dangerous and violent protesting. In my opinion, sedition. I mean, they're going against the government in that state. Yeah, that's sedition to an extent, huh? No more than the Capitol rioters. But anyway, so you have BLM attacking, looting, rioting, just almost as bad, if not worse. We can't really get full reports on the situation because everyone's hiding the truth. But from the appearances and from what media has pushed out, true media, what we can see is it's just as bad as the George Floyd riots and looting and all that good stuff. And actually what you had was a CNN reporter assaulted. Now, the people came up, who are, blah, 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 get out of here, it's our streets, justice for Daunte Wright, woo, justice. Then you have, all of a sudden, an assault. How is that justice? More violence equals justice to the company that has kissed your ass since day one? Yeah, way to go. All you're doing is proving your point, and that's that you have no idea how to get things done. So instead you're going to attempt to use force and violence. And we're going to tell you and show you why it's never going to work. But go ahead and keep messing up. Destroy your movement. You do whatever you want to do. That's on you. But what I can tell you is that CNN failed to cover this event. You had people verbally assaulted at first. Then you had, at close range, within 3 feet, a full water bottle projectile launched at full speed, what appeared to be with some algorithms that we did around between 40 and 50 mile an hour, like a pitch of a baseball. Same, actually a little heavier than a baseball. So imagine getting hit with a baseball, pretty solid amount, full force. It knocked an elderly security guard to the ground. It almost knocked him unconscious to where you heard people in the crowd mocking him for it, him being so weak that it knocked him out. I would like to see the tables have turned. That's assault, and you have the right to defend yourself. And that's why the Second Amendment is so important. I don't think these punks would be doing that, if this individual had a firearm or knew that they would use the fire. These people just know that they can take advantage of people. And in my opinion, that's as the definition of, a punk, but my opinion. But anyway, you have the individual then continued to verbally assault the individuals to the point where CNN had to leave. They could no longer report. Their First Amendment rights were stifled by the quote-unquote social justice rights of the BLM. They were forced to their vehicle, at which point they were forced to literally peel out back into another vehicle, the whole time being assaulted with eggs and other projectiles, punched, hit. It was a disgrace, an absolute disgrace. And if they were true journalists, they would cover the facts, the things that actually happened that day. But instead what they did was they said, we'll continue to we're okay, we're fine, we're just going to continue to talk about the social justice for Dante Wright. And the whole time they're being assaulted, they're saying, we're your ally, we're on your side. You're a beeping journalist. How in God's name are you on a side? Please explain that. You can't say you're on the side of justice because they're violently assaulting you. You're an idiot. There's no other word for it. If you are so weak that you can't tell the truth and that you're going to allow someone to dictate what you're calling journalistic ability, my opinion is get a new job. All of you at CNN, get a new job. Because you are doing this country a major disservice. You did not even cover the facts of the situation and the assault that occurred to your staff. Instead, you covered it under the rug because it didn't fit your stupid, fake agenda. Prove me wrong. Show me where there's a fact that I didn't just state that you can fact check, because there isn't. There's no fact checking that. It's fact. You were assaulted. You failed to properly report it like you would have reported it for just about any other case, even when you made up fake stories, such as, when you pushed together protesters and they caught you with all the other images. It's just so sad. It is truly so, so sad. And I truly hope that you catch on before it's too late. But I don't think you will. I don't. They are so afraid to go against this woke narrative that they are willing to lie and manipulate. And that is so wrong on so many levels. That's not why they should have the First Amendment privilege. First Amendment protects free speech. Yes, it does. But when you claim to be a journalist, you should have some journalistic integrity. And I don't see that with the CNN company anymore. Don Lemon, pfft. Chris Cuomo, pfft. Please. And I don't like doing that because, it's not good to make fun of anyone. But when you are causing such a disservice to the American people, there's no other word for it. And as if that's not bad enough, if, Minnesota isn't burning to the ground and no one seems to give a damn, if all the stores aren't being looted, rioted, communities being completely ravaged after they were just rebuilt, if that's not bad enough, then you have the police caving in as well. They caved in and now charged this 26-year-old officer that they're calling a vet, 26, a veteran. 26-year-old officer, involuntary manslaughter, manslaughter in the second degree. Second degree manslaughter. Can you please explain to me how an accident now becomes second degree manslaughter when there was no negligence anywhere at part? It was a true form of an accident. And I clearly hope in court the jury isn't so stupid or woke that they need to understand anything but the facts of the case. And the truth is this person is innocent of second-degree manslaughter. Second-degree manslaughter? Yeah, how about, if anything, involuntary manslaughter? She didn't mean to kill the individual. She meant to tase the individual. You can only be held guilty for a crime you have meant to commit. If you didn't know you commit, it goes into involuntary. You didn't mean to do it. But it happened. And it happened by some form of a negligence. So it's negligent involuntary manslaughter, not second-degree manslaughter. It's such a shame. It truly is a shame what's happening to our judicial system, to our media, to our government. All we had left was Supreme Court. And guess what? Mr. Nadler today has decided to introduce a bill to extremely impact the future of this country. And what he plans to do is add in 4 more Supreme Court justices. Why 4? Let's first talk about the number. Why 4? Well, you can't go with 1 because that brings it to an even number. And if it has going to be a really major decision and everybody has to weigh in, you'll never have an odd decision. So you have, in fact, can't do 1. If you did 3, that would bring it way too close for comfort. It would never go in either way fairly at that point. It would only go fair at that point. But that's not the point of their court packing. They knew they had to jump it up to 4 instead of 2 because they knew if they added 2, it would be too close. They can't add 3, it'd be an odd number, an even number. And when they add 4, it puts them way ahead of the Republican-appointed nominees. Therefore, no matter what they want and no matter what bullshit they pull, they will be able to do whatever they want. Whatever they want. No one can stop them. No one can stop them. There's nothing you can do. And you want to know why? Because they're going to pack the court. Now, I pray to God it doesn't make it through Congress because our country will never be the same. We no longer, in my opinion as conservatives, my opinion, facts, my opinion, as conservatives, we can no longer trust the election system as is until our state or, our entire country adopts laws like Georgia has begun to do, Texas has begun to do, until people can grow a pair and do the things that are necessary. We already can't trust our elections. Now we can't trust Supreme Court if it goes to 4 because we no longer have any fair balance. It goes to a full democratic balance. How is that fair? They would have the Republicans, they would have the Congress, presidency, Supreme Court. What else? What else is there? I don't think you people understand. They had this plan since day 1 of this whole viral epidemic. They knew it was coming. They didn't know, or I don't say they had any plan in it, but they surely took advantage of the situation and meant it to their advantage. They utilized it to say, this is our chance. Run with it, run with it, run with it. We could change election law to make it a legal win for Joe Biden. And it was a legal win for Joe Biden, according to the books, because they changed election law based on COVID. And when states are trying to retract back to the real way that the elections should have gone when it was a trusted election system with integrity, they're now being labeled as racist. As a matter of fact, when states attempt to add in some things they didn't even have but were put in for COVID, but limit them a little less than they were for COVID because they were overreaching with COVID, they're labeled as racist. Because that's what Georgia did. In fact, they added ballot boxes. They added things that were no longer in the bill pre-COVID. But because they brought them down a little bit, because they weren't necessary at the levels they were for COVID, they're racist. They weren't racist for that. They were racist because they tried to put in IDs. But hey, MLB moved out. Look how well it worked for them. I don't think people understand. We will not tolerate this junk for very long. Look at the court packing. You have to have a valid reason to want to do this. What's your valid reason other than you're a sore loser and you now need to pack the court to get everything you want no matter what? You're a big baby Nancy Pelosi. So big baby Nadler, big baby Schumer. So explain to me, what's your justification? What's the valid reason for packing the court? Oh, wait. Come on. Let's hear it. You don't have one. As a matter of fact, the last time there was a valid reason was 1869. And I'll give you a little bit. The Civil War. You have two completely different rationales. And then they just immediately fought and immediately won. The North won. Now all of a sudden, they say to themselves, well, wait a minute. They still have their people down there. What if they still have their ideologies? They're not really in with our ideology. We need to expand the courts to cover down there and to kind of limit and expand our ability to hear cases down in the South. Oh my God, that's a valid reason to expand the court. Well, since we didn't take on any new territories, the only thing we really did was add a ton of illegal immigrants. Thank you, Joe Biden. But they're going to be all spread out anyway, so why do we need more? We only have the same amount of territory. The Supreme Courts are working just fine. There is no justified rationale. This is all an agenda. And it has nothing to do with bettering America. It has to do with the demand for power. And until we as Americans realize that is not America, we need a balance of power, because no person can ever be right all the god time. We have to do what's best for the majority of the people in this great country, or in some cases, what's best for certain specific areas in this country. Thus, why we have a bigger government, smaller government, and even lower government. That's how it works, people, and it's worked so well. And it's why we've become such a great country. But the Democrats are too damn greedy. And now they're going to go and try and change the one thing that was working for this country, the reason why every other immigrant in this world comes to one country for the most part, and that's our country. And they come here, why? Because of the way it was, not the way these stupid Democrats are attempting to make it. Please, people, and I don't mean to say stupid Democrats, because not all Democrats are stupid. I'm talking about the power-hungry, stupid idiots in Congress and in the Senate, and now in the presidency and vice presidency. That's who I'm talking about. Not the individual people in the cities who really don't understand what's truly going on because of the lies and manipulation, as we just proved with CNN, the major Democratic network. You think ABC, NBC, you think they're all not the same? You think they don't do the same crap over and over? Well, think again. It's exactly what they do. And they won't stop. They will not stop until they reign supreme. And then kiss our country goodbye, because China's going to take it. You know they're ready. They're waiting. They're about to take over Taiwan. Watch. It's going to happen. You know, they built a mock Taiwanese embassy, in a sense. Not embassy, like their government headquarters, so that they can practice rushing and taking it. Look it up. People, it's going down. And now Biden's pulling out our troops. I mean, we're going to have no control over any other country, no control over our own country, and half Americans will have no say. We are on our way to a very bad time in America, ladies and gentlemen. And unless we shape up and start putting our foot down now, before it's too late, I can't say that we'll make it back. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what's going on in our country, and we're going to continue to bring you the truth. My name is Corey Camasso, and this is Critical Political Thinking. Please visit our website at www.criticalpoliticalthinking.com. Join our Critical Political Thinkers Club today. Get yourself a mug, t-shirt, face mask. There's all kinds of different levels you can join in at. It's all a donation, and it all helps this free channel continue to grow. We're not monetized. We do not make any money. We're actually doing this because we know it needs to be done, and none of the other networks are doing it. We will continue to bring you the truth. We will continue to share the facts. Please share this video. Like, subscribe, rumble, echo, share, comment. All of those things will help us more than anything you know. Thank you again for watching Critical Political Thinking, and my name is Corey Camasso. God bless America.